Hello, hello, hello. We are kicking this off as our first uh, live recording of RJ and Sewell. Let's talk. We're going to talk a little real estate. We're going to talk some insurance. We're going to talk some finance. Uh, we're going to talk our faith. We're going to throw some sports in there. We're going to get some Bears in, guys. So we
We
are
have
happy to
to.
be here with my good friend, Richard James. Otherwise, I call him RJ all the time. RJ, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, everything is wonderful. I'm excited about 2026 rolling in, and I'm ready to have a fantastic new year.
Yeah. A lot of things have changed. Like it's part you don't know about. I have to wear glasses too. I had a pair of glasses. I got them. I had them for like 3 months and I lost them. So I have to order some more. So I have a hard time reading now. But it's so funny seeing that. I'm like, man, I'm enjoying your club. But no, I'm excited about 2026. Um, man, it's a lot of good projections. I mean, we're going to give good advice for people. I think that's important that we do that. But also, I think that uh, we want you to enjoy it. And so, as we get this test run going, and I'll be looking on here to make sure we're following along with any chats and things like that. If you guys have, let us know. We are always happy to help. I'm just double checking, making sure that we are completely live. I can see that. We are good. All right, cool. So we'll wait for some people to join in. I think we just got one that just jumped in. But no, look, share with your friends. The real estate market is hot. We are going to talk real estate. We're going to have fun. But I've done, and RJ and I have done this in the past. We've done different shows where, and it gets a little old. It's not that we don't like to educate. We're going to always educate, right? But I think part of what movements and what's going on in the world, the economy, we're going to touch on those things. We're going to touch on the real estate insurance, going to educate you. But then we also want to make sure that, that we're human and we're having fun. Like, man, RJ, just get right to it. How you feel about our Bears, man?
Man, you know what? So when the season started, I thought, okay, we're building a really good team. We still have some things to do. I anticipated maybe a 9-8, 10-7 season for us, and I didn't think we would make the playoffs. Especially didn't think we would win the division. So we're about a year ahead of where I had us projected. So I'm really really excited about Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and what's coming for the Bears.
Yeah, same. This is I said 12-5, but I'm always overly optimistic. But it is that my neighbors and stuff like, yeah, you said 12-5, but they definitely call the cardiac Bears for a reason. So then definitely saw some changes and things like that made us nervous. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited about what they're doing. Like you said, the coach, the quarterback, you got those. That's fixed,
Yeah.
right? You ain't got to worry about nothing else. Um, so yeah, we'll touch base on that, the importance of, I think, coaching, and kind of like a lot of what we've done. I mean, RJ, you and I have known each other for a long time. Uh,
Mhm.
my regional Larry was asking about. We just got a notification pricing is improving. We like that. Rates gonna get better. But so I like it. He was talking. He's like, "Who's RJ?" I said, "Yeah, RJ is a good friend. We've known each other since what, 05, 06, something like that."
Yeah, '05. It's been
Yeah,
a long time.
yeah. So it's been long. We were life changers together, which was a good group. We learned a lot of my faith and stuff was built there, and then uh, getting to play basketball with the guys and getting the men on Saturdays and Friday nights was just a blast.
It
So
was.
kind of as we start this off in our format, I just want people to get to know us. So I'm gonna kick it off with you, RJ. Your name is first on the podcast, even though you didn't want it to be. That's okay. It's first. Your R comes before no, it comes before S. Go with that.
It does. Okay. I'll let you have that.
But tell us about yourself and what's going on in your life and what you're doing in your business and things of that nature.
Yeah, so I'll start off with personal because my family is a big part of who I am. Married, been married for almost 27 years now, and to the same woman. And
Very important to say
we,
that.
yeah, we have a beautiful daughter who is doing so well in life. Really proud of what she's accomplishing, and family is a huge part of who we are. Our faith also fits right into that, right? Our faith is the center of everything that drives us and motivates us. Um, business wise, I just retired from corporate at the end of last year, but
Congratulations.
I didn't thank you so much. You know, it's interesting because we always anticipate that day. You know, even when we first start off in our careers, we see people like our parents or grandparents retiring, and we aspire to that day. So I had the opportunity to do that. However, I didn't quit working. I'm not ready to stop working yet. What I did was I chose to reopen, I should say, my insurance agency. So with 30 years in the business in various roles, most of which has been sales, I chose to go back into agency. There's a lot happening in our industry right now, and each time people find out what I do, they ask me questions, and rightfully so. So I'm really excited about what I'm getting ready to do this year and going forward, and really excited to be a part of this podcast with you because of the education piece.
Yep. And as we get this thing going, we're gonna have a lot more people on it. I got a lot of inquiries saying when you're going back on the airline, I gotta do, but I want to have fun, So one of the things I'm gonna say about RJ, and I can say this with 100%. It was always about the education. You and I were doing trainings and lunch and learns before lunch and learns became a thing, and we always educated it. And the one thing I can always tell people, I trust you, and it's not we're not going to do, or you're not going to do what's best for you necessarily. You're going to do what's best for the client, and what's and not even just for clients. People rely on. We call you what they call you, second pastor at your church or bishop. We got all kinds of, but he leads with heart and trust. He's not looking out for his own interests first, which I admire that about you for forever. But I think that's important, and
Thank you.
talk about that, like where you lead from.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for those sentiments. I think it's actually how we bonded so quickly because we are a kindred spirit there. Integrity is really important to me. Um, yes, I'm in sales, and yes, when we sell things, we make more money and so forth. But when I sell things, it has to be right. It has to be a good fit, not only for the company, but for the customer. I'm never going to try to oversell someone. I'm never going to try to sell them something that's, in my best interest and not theirs. It has to be a win-win situation. So, otherwise, I want to advise, everyone that I talk to. Sometimes that means that you don't become my customer today,
Right.
but ultimately, I want you to walk away as a more informed consumer.
Right. Education is important. I mean, that's, the more you know, the better decision you can make. Right. So we have tools, and I don't want to jump ahead on this, but, a lot of people are nervous about AI, and, and I'm like, look, you embrace it or, get left behind. So use the tools to help you. Now, it doesn't know everything, but make sure that you're using the technology and the tools, and then you got a person that's willing to help you on those things. For me, man, for the year, and let's see if you can even see it. My word for the year, you can see that it's discipline, right? And my team member, my loan partner, Sonia, got that for me, and really was blessed that she did. And the reason I chose discipline is we do the work, right? But being consistent, doing the little things. But I had a secondary word, which is joy. And when I look back over to 2025, it was a very productive year. I was up 20-some%. Grateful. We want to go up more than that this year. We're trying to double this year. Not trying, we will double this year, change that up. But when I think about it, that joy piece is important. It's like who you work with and the clients you work with. And the partners you work with. To me, our value and your value is that we lead with heart. We have a team, we give, and we want to help people. So to me, it's important that, I like what you said, that every person is not meant to be with you, right? But I will tell you this, if you want someone you can trust and know is going to look out for your best interest, RJ is your guy. And he would say the same thing about me. I'm not going to have you do that when you're about to toot each other horn. But that's the thing, right? So if it's not, then I would always suggest, it's not a good fit, and not to just go there. But to me, we're both people of faith, and ultimately, I believe that our needs are met by the good Lord. And if you're honoring him, he's your source, and he puts the good people in front of you, and you just got to plant enough seeds. So, touch on that a little bit, RJ.
Yeah, we meet people in different situations in their lives, and when we talk about, uh, you know, taking care of the customer, that ultimately that's the goal. Um, and Brian is he's not going to toot his own horn, but I will.
Not
Um,
today, I'm not.
I will though, because I mentioned earlier we're kindred spirits in that area. One of the things that helped me connect with Brian so quickly was I had a chance to see how he does business. In the mortgage industry, there are people who will try to take advantage of you. They'll try to gouge you. They will try to get you into a house that may be more than you're ready for financially right now. And Brian is the opposite of that. Brian wants to make sure that when you buy a house, especially when you're using him for the mortgage, that you're going to be able to afford that mortgage. Brian would rather have you walk away from the deal than to, under his watch, bite off more than you can chew, so to speak. I've seen that happen. I've witnessed it, and some people take that advice and some people walk away, and Brian's okay with that because ultimately, like he said, God provides for us. God is our source. That's who we rely on, for our business and for all the customers that we interact with. So whether we do business today or next year or whenever it happens, God is our source and he's the one matching us with those customers.
100%. It's so funny you say it. Like we're dealing. One of the biggest issues we deal with right now is affordability. It is an issue, right? As far as like housing has risen so much, rates went up a little bit. I think they're coming back down. And you think about in Illinois, and I'm licensed in 5 or 6 other states. I gotta look at it. I think it's 6 states. I gotta look at it. But the property taxes that in Illinois makes things a little rougher. And so we understand that. So, like, what are ways you can get around that to make those payments affordable? When we look at different strategies we can put together, uh, instead of just running into something, still better than paying high rents too, because rents have gone up. So
Mhm.
I think we acknowledge that there is some affordability issues, but there are so many different things you can do to help, and so many programs you can do, things that can help you to grow your portfolio and your business and things of that nature. So it's we'll talk throughout the time. We don't plan on going anywhere. This is something we plan on doing for a long time together. And I'm glad that, man, you came back in the agency January 1st.
January, absolutely.
Yeah, that was like that. I think I was more excited when you told me in December. I was, whoa, my God. 'Cause we just do all the we market together. It's
Mhm.
different, And we've got other partners and stuff that we work with. But when I think about how we can grow and expand the same mindset, it's just it's it's different, Plain and simple, it's different. And there's you know, I look at it this way because I just told you we want to double up, you know, and not to go biblical, but there was 12 spies. 10 said we look like grasshoppers. 2 was like, let's go take the land. I think we were one of the 2 to say, hey, let's go grab it. Let's go take all the
Absolutely.
market share. Let's be aggressive. We had a company meeting. And if Rick watching this, I think Rick, it was a little too long, it was an hour and a half, but it was really good to talk about where growth and how the numbers have. But we talked about that, where our theme is being limitless this
Yeah.
year. We were full throttle last year, is limitless. And part of that is just like, hey, there's no limits. You know, the sign behind me is, I think it says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right?
Yes.
So I mean, there's no limit on what we can do. And I think the same thing for customers and potential clients. If you want to buy a home, whatever it is, if you want to buy investments, you know, you just have to believe and you start a plan and you move forward.
Hmm. I
So
love it.
yeah. And we're here to coach you through that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, bring it up back to my coach Ben Johnson, right? Love that dude, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to come back and forth, but I will tell you, RJ, I was thinking about this. I was sharing this with Rick. Speaking of Rick, he's my coach. He's over our national sales with Cherry Creek Division, Guild Mortgage, and we were talking. I think it was yesterday. We coach once a month. We were talking about like just that experience with being at the Bears. I went to 6 games, which is
Hmm.
the most. I think most time we go to 1 every 2 years, but I went to 6 games. I didn't realize it. So, but one game stands out to me the most was, and this is kind of telling you how my mindset is going to the game with my son Isaiah.
Mhm.
and just having that experience and cardiac bears was just amazing. And I didn't bring up the Green Bay game, even though we won. I didn't bring up last week, and that was the most fun. But just really having an experience. So I think when we do things for memories, we talk about buying home, insuring homes, all those things. Those create memories. Those that create fondness, and that's where I think that's what we ultimately want to do is help people create dreams.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's interesting, Brian, you get to help people create memories that are from a really good place. Anytime someone buys their first home, that's a memory that they'll keep forever. But they'll also get to uh, generate new memories every time they buy another home, and those are always, I shouldn't say always, but those are typically great memories that they look forward to and that they look forward to experiencing. On the insurance side, it's not necessarily that way, right? So, nobody wants to talk to their insurance guy. It's not a real fun topic. I like to say that, uh, let's work together one day a year to take care of your insurance, and then let me and my company worry about it the other 364 days out of the year. Um, in the event that you do need your insurance policy for your homeowners or your business, that's probably not a great day.
Right.
And it may create a different kind of memory. But the reason that I'm here is to make sure that when that happens, we're going to get you back in shape. We're going to get you back to the same situation you were in before you had that loss. We're going to make it a good experience for you. So we're going to take something good, we're going to something bad, we're going to turn it around for good. That's biblical also.
It is.
Uh, so that's our goal. We hope to create a lasting good memory in that sense. Um, and take that bad situation and make it a good one.
Good. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. But yeah, look, if you don't have the insurance, so that's the worst feeling, you know.
Yeah. Or if you don't have the right insurance. And that's why education is so important to me.
So you've been in the insurance industry. It's not like you've been with American Family. It's not like you've been out. You just haven't been selling insurance. So I
Mhm.
can ask you some insurance questions, right?
Sure.
People are going to look at the podcast and stuff later on. It's like we'll break it up and share some things. But like, here's a question for you. I know we saw like a big jump in insurance across the board early last year.
Mhm.
Um, we heard various reasons for that. Can you shed light on that? Why you saw such big jumps in insurance premiums last year for houses?
Absolutely. Yeah, and this is the question, given the environment in the insurance industry right now, this is the question that I get most often lately. There are a lot of things that happen that put pressures on insurance premiums, and we think about the typical ones like uh, inflation. Inflation is something that we can never outrun. It's going to happen to us every single year, and that impacts the insurance premiums. But usually, that's probably about somewhere between, I don't know, 3 to 5% of what your insurance rate might be, your insurance change. But lately we have, if we look back over the last 15 years, probably in our industry, we've had very few years where the insurance industry made a profit on things like auto, homeowners, commercial insurance, things like that, farm ranch even. We've been taking losses for most of those years. That's not a sustainable model. At the end of the day, when you think about insurance, there are a lot of societal impacts. So if you imagine every person is responsible for self-insuring their home, their auto, their business, their farm. If you think about that, how many abandoned buildings, how many abandoned vehicles would we see, as we went down the street? So that's an impact that most people don't consider, but we do every single day. Um, so we have to be solvent. We have to be able to pay claims. Taking loss every single year in those lines is not conducive to us being able to do that. So we do have to charge the right amount of premium so that we can be here whenever our policyholders have a loss, we have to be able to pay that. That comes from charging the right insurance premium. Another thing that impacts us greatly is we used to have these things that we call 50 and 100-year storms, and they
Oh
were
yeah,
very
forget
predictable.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were very predictable. So whatever you think about, global warming or weather pattern changes, they're very real.
The
Um, you
fires
know,
in Los Angeles, you know that?
the Absolutely, the fires, and not just in California, but even all along the West Coast. And California is one of those states. I mean, they have not only wildfires, but they have earthquakes, and they have mudslides. So there's a lot going on in different parts of our country. There's no state that gets away unscathed. So when we think about those 50 and 100-year storms, they're now happening every 2 to 5 years. And that puts a great deal of strain on our ability to be able to pay claims. So we have to charge the right amount of premium so that we can be there when you have a loss.
So when you think about that, right? And I hear you say, you guys haven't made a profit, and so you're like, my premiums, no incidents. So layering that with risk. So when so you have a good driver, no tickets, no craziness, right?
hmm
No DUIs and no claims on your house. Or do you still get the benefit of being a good steward, or not? Well, bad stuff happen to good stewards too, but
hmm
you get the benefit of a lower premium possibly than someone that is, you know, I know some people feel like they have new cars every year because they get in accidents.
Yeah.
So, you guys layer that risk.
Yeah, that's a great question, and the answer is yes. That's all captured in the secret sauce that makes up the premium. So there's a commercial on TV that talks about you only paying for your experience, but that's not actually true. We share. In fact, the concept of insurance in general is that we are sharing risk. So it goes back to my earlier conversation of, if we were all self-insuring, one, maybe it'll work out for some of us, but man, if you have a catastrophic loss before you have enough to cover it, there comes the abandoned building. There goes the abandoned cars, right? So the very concept of insurance is based on us sharing risk with our neighbors. So if our neighbor has had a loss, if our neighbor has had, a bad driving experience, all of a sudden we are taking part in their loss experience. Okay. And then not only my company, for example, doesn't even insure in California, but guess what? Overall, that has an impact on what we charge for insurance rates too. Maybe not as big as our competitors that actually do insure there, but at some point, there's going to be a trickle down effect, and it's going to impact us as well.
Makes sense. Yeah. So if they want to get insurance from you, what's the best way they to get educated, get a quote? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so the best thing to do is to reach out to me via email. My email address is rjames, so my first initial last name, rjames1 at amfam.com. And that's Apple Frank. Wait, let me say that differently. I'm misspelling it. It's AMFAM. So
R James, RJAMES
R
1 at
at
amfam.com.
you got it. Thank you.
That should be in the post, in the
Yeah.
link here. So yeah, we got it on there on YouTube and Facebook. And guys, we'll be doing this tomorrow. This is our first one. We want to know the topics you want to hear about. We're going to have some fun. Again, we're going to talk real estate. We're going to talk finance. We're going to talk insurance. We're going to talk budgeting. We're going to have different guests on the show. RJ, your job is going to be like, we have our meetings here. He loves when I do this, when I put him on the spot. We're doing 4 weeks a month. You got 2, I get 2. I bring two guests. You get to bring 2 guests. So we come in, but sorry, guess you guys all heard that, right? He got some homework assignments. But we want to educate, right? So we want you to know what type of we're only going to bring trustworthy people. So I get that out the way too. We're going to screen them, but who you want to hear from in the industry. We'll have some, we'll probably get a couple celebrities on too. I know a couple people. I won't say their names until they agree to come on, but we'll have some fun with it as well. But at the same time, we really want to have an impact. I think about that's, you know, I teach my kids every day. Like and I'll just say, I say, hey, be Jesus to others. You know, to me, that just means you have a positive impact. You know, and we want you to feel loved, like, whether you use us or not. I mean, we're, you know, RJ is very successful. I'm successful, but we are expanding to grow. We're planning on doubling and tripling. But to me, it's important that you grow with the right people, right? That you want to be taken care of, you know, and that's, you know, you're going to get treated like family. Those are our promises. It's so funny. And I don't think you can read them here, but let's see if I can get it. Which way am I going? Am I going the right way? It's not moving. Look at that. See that? Oh, there we go.
There you go. There you go.
On time, no surprise at closing, treat you like family, weekly updates. That's, you know, so I'm not a great camera guy always, but those are our 4 promises, you know, and to be, there's vision to help. And I know RJ got the same thing. I'm super excited about doing this with you. And it's going to be a game changer. Dude, 30 minutes goes by so fast. So we talked real estate. We talked a little bit of we talked a little bit of sports. Hey, what are your predictions for you? What do you got to say about again, I told you I'm going to go back and forth. I'm pumped about my Bears. So I'm going 12-5 next year. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I think we're going to beat Green Bay's tail every year. I think that's going to happen. And I do think if they address the defense, and, you know, this is going to be probably like, what are you? I think I love Monangai. I like Swift. I want them to grab another running back. And it's like, and it doesn't have to be, it could be at the 4th or 5th round. Or I want me you guys probably not going to remember this name, Michael Allstott. I want me a big boy. I want me a big boy. It's 31, and I don't care. You can line up all 11. We're going to get the 1 yard. So I want that. If Ben Johnson, if you're listening, that's what you need to go get. Get you a fullback that's like 280, 270. And it's like, hey, you ain't stopping me. Just line me up. I'm going to get you 1 yard. Because part of that went going forward 4 times and the third down was 2 to 1 yard. We couldn't get that 1 yard because, you know, Monangai got caught in the back, or we had a different left tackle, all those things. But you try to stop Mike Allstott from getting 1 yard. Old Tampa Bay, I remember that, boy. Oh, so I want one of those. I want one of those dudes. So you don't have to be forced to go for it on 4th down. Okay, so give you all the twos, and then my last bit of advice for Ben Johnson is that, hey, do what Belichick did. Just take 3 points. Take 3 points. You know what I mean? Once you're up by 14, you can have all the fun, or you can do behind your back. You know, I saw Caleb throwing left hand throws in practice. We was out there. We got there early, man. It was a blast. What are your thoughts on the season for next year?
Man, okay. So first of all, I like that. I do remember Mike Allstott. He was a banger, man. He could get those tough yards for you. My wish list for next year. First of all, I want I need another edge rusher. We need to get more pressure on the opposing quarterback. Take away their time, speed them up. The other thing is I need an interior lineman because I want us to stop the run. Our secondary, our linebackers shouldn't be making all the tackles on the run. So those are my first 2 things. I'm hoping that we draft my son-in-law because we need some more help on that O-line too.
Was he playing?
Well, he's just coming out of Oregon right now. He's a right guard. He's 6'6", 315, and he's a people mover. So that's his occupation.
Keep him at left tackle. No, wait a minute. No, he's left guard. So no, you would have to move Jonah Jackson over.
Actually, Matt can play any of the 4. He's played both tackles and both guard positions, so he's versatile. But he benches over 400. He squats over 700. He's a strong young man. We need to fortify that O-line because that's the reason that we need a Mike Allstott, right? We need to open up some bigger holes.
I think we need that left tackle too, though, honestly, because Trapillo is hurt. We don't know how many, how long it'll take for him to get right.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about trade Cosby?
You know what? I heard that Max Crosby wants to play for the Bears. I'm open to a trade. He's a beast.
Is that new news? I didn't hear about that. He said he want to play for the Bears?
He said the Bears would be a great landing spot for him. We already have the team built up. He fits right in line with what we need. You put him next to Montez Sweat, and you got some stuff going on. There's some offensive linemen flying out of the way and making room for us to get to that quarterback. So, I'm open to the right trades.
Yeah, I like that. And I think Caleb another year in the system. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I tell you, RJ, and when we're gonna call this the after show, the post. We already talked real estate, so y'all jumping in now. You go back, listen to tape. We're gonna talk a little bit of real estate, mortgages, and all the insurance every week. But I like the when I was at that Giants game. They're going back to that. And I'm a big Michael Jordan man. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
Now, do I even have to say anything else? Let me just do this real quick.
Right.
Y'all can tell that last shot. Okay, you're gonna give Michael this way. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah. RJ, you was with me when I got that. Remember, we got that
I was
years ago. I still got that. So, they're down, and my son is like, this is at the Giants game. I'm like, all right, it's 4 or 5 minutes. All right, let's get out of here. Let's beat the traffic, right? And they're down, they scored. It's like 2 minutes to go. And, you always tell the stories, it gets exaggerated, but it's like 2 minutes to go. All right. I'm like, all right, Isaac, we'll stay. And the Bears have scored, and it was like a little under 2 minutes, and they had the ball. And I had never heard this before, not since the MJ days. All you heard the crowd say is Caleb time, Caleb time. I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah. I said, that's how you felt. Not the 95, 96 season, because the Bulls whooped everybody's tail that year.
Absolutely.
Right? The other years, but you do. The Bulls give you a little heart attack. You're sitting up there like, all right, here we go. It's MJ time. And, man, I'm telling you, that was just fun to watch. Just all the comeback was fun to watch. So I think that with the right timing, I love our coach.
Yep.
That dude is that this team is going to be a force to reckon with. And they got a tough division, but this is going to be nice.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we have maybe the toughest division in the NFL right now, just in terms of competitiveness, and especially if Minnesota gets it together next year at the quarterback spot. But
they got a quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see.
Does he have a different personality too? He called himself. What's his number? 12, 18?
12, yeah.
Now I forget 9. He says number 9. He's like, it's just all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No worries. But I think we'll beat Green Bay 2 times next year. Yeah. We owe Detroit. So Detroit, if you listen, and we're coming for you. And so I'm really looking forward to next season. It should be absolutely thrilling, especially knowing who we have back there calling the signals for us under center. So, man, I'm excited.
Well, and last bit of advice, man. I know you don't need my advice. Look, I love you, man. You can't do nothing wrong. But listen, it ain't gotta be sexy. Hand the ball off. Give it to Mananga, whoever, Swifty, whatever. All style. Whoever you're gonna get, just give the ball. Establish the run. You got your tight ends. Man, Luke the Burden. I think he's going to end up being the best receiver on that team outside of what's our tight end?
Komet or Lovelace.
Yeah, Lovelace. He got a concussion though, man. You always got to watch those. But yeah. Whatever last time we ever talked about the Bears and all the weapons.
It's been a long time.
I don't think it was a no time. We talked about the Bears and their defense.
Right.
Like we could name 2 players of the Bears offense. They're like, all right, we're okay. Maybe 3.
Look, the last time we had this many weapons, I think our running back was number 34.
Walter Payton, right. So here we can go there. Walter Payton, Willie Goat, Matt Suey. Look, and I'm only 46, and I'm just going off the numbers. They had a couple of good offensive linemen. I'm talking about weapons.
Yeah.
Gentry was on that team, right?
Gentry was later.
Okay. So all right. You want to call McMahon a weapon?
He wasn't not nearly as talented as who we have now. Caleb Williams is just a beast. If going back to the 2-minute drills just this season alone, and how many times he pulled it off. Bad for my heart, but to be able to have a guy and being able to put him on the field and need a touchdown. I mean, not a field goal, but to need to be in the end zone. It was absolutely amazing to watch him be able to pull that off week after week, and he did it. We've never had a quarterback before that could do that. Now we
RJ, who's my favorite quarterback besides Caleb?
Well, it should be Peyton Manning.
No. That's actively playing. I love Manning.
Oh, but actively. Who is your favorite?
Who's my favorite? We've talked about this. Who do I say is the best quarterback in the league? Hands down. He's hurt now. I'll give you another hit.
Wow. You know what?
He plays for the teams in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Patrick Mahomes.
Right. So I
Yeah.
love me my homeboy, right?
Yep.
That dude, he's about the only quarterback I know who could have made that throw.
Yeah.
Back it up. 30 yards, 40 yards back. He was on the 45-yard line on the other side of the field. And we were on the end, or in the 200 level, where we saw Cole catch it. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. And my Wayne, my buddy, my old business associate, he got it all on camera. And he sent me that. I was like, man, that's crazy. We're jumping up and down like little girls. I probably like, you would think we were in church. We're all holding hands, jumping up and down. You know, some people say he should have went from 2 at that point. I was being conservative. I like Ben's answer.
Yeah.
He was like, no, our little 3rd and 4th down short yardage wasn't working. So I just kicked the extra point.
It wasn't working.
We should have won the game.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about DJ Moore not running that route all the way. We're gonna give him a pass because he did beat Green Bay twice.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna give him a pass on that. But no, this is you and I could talk Bears all day. So
all day.
As you guys can see, we're like, yeah, everybody's still hyped up. But look, I think we're getting more people to join me talking about Bears. Listen, you need to buy a home. That's how you build wealth, right? The average homeowner is like 10 times more wealthy than the person that's paying rent, right?
Yep.
So you need to buy a home. But no, this is I enjoy doing this with you, man. And we got to do it every week. We jump on. We'll get the tech fixed up a little bit, clean it up. But guys, if you need to reach out to RJ, his email is in there, rjames1@amfam.com. Mine is teamsewell@guildmortgage.net. I'm going to just throw that in there. We'd love to hear from you. Suggestions, anything you want to add, RJ?
Yeah, you know, real quickly, I'm also looking forward to doing this with you all year long and going forward. It's great to have a business partner like you. You know, I'm really careful about who I hitch my wagon to because you have to operate with integrity. Otherwise, I will not associate myself with you. You are a man of integrity, and I appreciate that about you. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to everybody who watches, everybody who jumps on, and you know, all the questions that we're able to answer going forward, and all the people that we're able to help. This is about us educating you and helping you improve your situation. So looking forward to it.
100%. All right, you guys have a great week. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, we're doing
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday. We'll see you next week. God bless.
God bless you all.